for having so many kids. That's what you get for having so many kids.
Dear Mom and Dad, wow, 50 years. What a remarkable and uncommon accomplishment. I remember when we celebrated Grandma and Grandpa Gillies' 50th anniversary. If my memory serves me correctly, we made a large quilt filled with images of our favorite memories with them. So with at least 2 consecutive generations who have achieved this milestone, what better example could I have to clearly set the standard for me? Of course, we all know that the real standard isn't just 50 years, but actually eternity. But there's no doubt in my mind that yours is an eternal marriage. How cool is that? Not just hoping that your parents will be together forever, but knowing. I realize the test is far from over for either of you, but I can't imagine either of you falling off the wagon at this point in your life. It's clear to me that if I just live up to my end of the deal, each of us will be together forever. Of course, the way I originally came to this knowledge was through each of you. I remember while serving my mission, attending a mission or a fireside in the mission home. Each month the mission president would host a fireside, and missionaries in close proximity were encouraged to attend along with individuals they were teaching. At one fireside, I remember President Tate trying to illustrate to the group how each of us are taught the gospel in different ways and at different times of our life. As he told stories of different members of the group, he said Elder Gillies was taught the gospel at the knees of his parents. Although that statement seems simple and obvious to each of us, it actually carries a great deal of significance. I've sometimes wondered what would have happened if I hadn't been taught as a child. Would I have allowed missionaries to teach me, or would I have tried to brush them off quickly? Knowing how I am, I can only imagine I would probably just try to brush them off without even knowing what they have to share. Yet, since I was taught as a child, and have been, and have since received many witnesses throughout my life, I do have an eternal perspective on life. So thank you for not only teaching me how to live, but also showing me the meaning of life. Beyond the blessing of being raised in a Christ-centered home, being a member of your family has brought many additional blessings. When it comes to work, you both set the bar at a very high level. I don't remember many times when you would find Mom out of bed later than 5 or 6 a.m. And talk about multitasking. You would be doing a load of laundry, you'd be riding your bicycle, reading the scriptures or the ensign, and doing the load of laundry all at the same time.
Brad had to teach me how to do all that.
Look at you.
Like her.
You accomplish more by 7 a.m. than most people do in a day. To have you quiz me for a test or just talk to you, or just talk, and you would still be awake entering orders. Yet you would always stop and quiz me, even though it meant holding you up and getting to bed that much later. Self-control was another character trait that you mastered with me. While working at Gamble's, I recall making several mistakes while assembling tricycles, wagons, and big wheels. Yet you never went off on me. And of course, who would ever forget the night that I ran out of gas when you let me drive the truck to the Highland Stake dance? As if that wasn't aggravating enough, we then caught the engine on fire trying to prime the carburetor with gasoline.
Already know I need a second job.
You do. Needless to say, the entire engine had to be replaced. Unfortunately, my children have never seen nearly as much self-control from me. As I've watched your lives from the perspective of a child, it would be very easy to write your life story in a whole series of books, much like the Power Tales that I sold years ago, which teach the power of dreaming, work, integrity, trying again, overcoming, attitude, caring, cheerfulness, courage, and many other positive character traits. Beyond the many life lessons I have learned as your child, I also have many enjoyable memories of trips to Flaming Gorge, Mount Rushmore, Custer State Park, Yosemite, Yellowstone, and the Holiday Bowl football games. Beyond there were many. Beyond this, there were the more common memories of cleaning gambles, the junior high with mom, BYU tailgate parties and football games, snow skiing, swimming, fireworks shows, Easter egg hunts, Memorial and Labor Day picnics, and of course our many abundant Christmas celebrations throughout the years. I've never once doubted there was a Santa Claus. I always thought that being grandparents was supposed to be easier than being parents, but I've observed that both of you still work as hard as ever. It's as though instead of having your responsibilities decrease, they've only multiplied. You never gave up the role of parenthood. Instead, you seem to have mastered the art of parenting more from a distance. In many ways, I'm sure this has been more difficult than when we were home, as I'm sure you feel less control. But was always one of your greatest But this was always one of your greatest strengths as parents. You taught us correct principles and then let us govern ourselves. I know one of the hardest parts of being a parent is watching your kids make mistakes. That's probably why neither of you can sleep. You're probably so worried about the rest of us it keeps you awake all night. I'm sure you've observed many decisions that have been difficult to sit back and watch. Yet you've allowed us to go through the trial and error learning process offered through the School of Hard Knocks, and then you've always been there to offer continued support as we try to get back up. Beyond all of this, you're always there for your grandchildren, and even though it's hard to stay awake at school concerts and after getting up at 3 o'clock to go to the temple, our children know you're there, and it does make a difference. As in-laws, you've made a huge difference in Michelle's life also, as you have filled many gaps of closeness that she wishes she had with her own parents. Thanks for all that you've done and continue to do. We love you very much.
Good done.
Thanks.